Hi, lovelies. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Sarah Martucci. I'm a psychic medium, certified crystal healer, paranormal investigator, Sasquatch enthusiast, Duchess of Donuts, cuss mouth angel, and mom to a feral growling, and I do mean that. He likes to growl, 2-year-old, send help, and extra donuts. Thanks. You guys, this is your first time here. This is where I pull 3 piles of cards. You pick any and all piles that you're drawn to. Then I'll interpret each one of those piles for you to see what your week's going to hold. On top of that, and to begin with, we start with some astrofuckery. So let's fucking get to it. I'm going to keep it short and I'm going to keep it simple. We're in Sagittarius season right after a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius. So I don't know about you guys, but this solar eclipse was a hoe. Like it was a hoe. So I think that really its point was to help us rework the way that we view things. Because Sagittarius really is a sign about like philosophy and religion and, you know, just the way that we view stuff, the way that we look at the world, maybe even like our faith, our hope, our optimism, if we have some, around what it is that's happening around us or the place that we exist and that we live in. So I feel like for most of us, something has changed here. Something either transpired, maybe new information came in or something happened, or maybe we just had a silent moment where we were like, aha, something just fucking clicked. And if you haven't had it yet, hold on tight. This could take another, week to 2 weeks, like following up to this next full moon that's coming up here. This could take a couple of weeks to kind of like resonate or something to come through. So take your time with this. And also I think it would be really beneficial right now, especially since Neptune went direct last week, to have like a journal next to your bed, or maybe just carry it on you so that if you start to have like weird daydreams, or maybe you're having weird, dreaming at night, symbology is coming up, things are coming to the forefront, we're having weird fucking dreams and daydreams, and it's really giving us some information, whether or not we recognize it, that may actually be able to help us move forward. So don't be afraid to like write this stuff down so that you can reference it back later and be like, I fucking knew. This is how I trusted and tuned into my intuition to begin with. So if I can pass on that information to anybody, you're fucking welcome. But yeah, don't be afraid to just really sit down, get quiet, and really lean into what is my philosophy around life. Or maybe even better, if you really want to hone in on what this means for you and you're still having a hard time, go get a free natal chart done. See where Sagittarius sits and what house it sits in for you. And then look up that house on Google and see what the themes are for that house. If you need help, don't be afraid to drop a little comment below. I will help you through that process. Even if you just want feedback around what house it's in. But that'll kind of give you a more detailed idea around where this, eclipse was sitting, maybe this new philosophy that's coming in for you. I would say at the very least, don't be afraid to be teachable too. I think that's a really important fucking thing, because sometimes Sagittarius can get a little zealous about something or just like hard nose on a philosophy and like refuse. This is the lower octave, of course, but like refuse to like step back and like really look and assess and say, hey, does this really make sense? Is this really truly good for me in my life? So don't be afraid to be teachable. Don't be afraid of new lessons and new things that are coming in to maybe shake up what you thought was true and help it kind of rearrange for you around maybe what is true now, what's better suited to who you are and what you are about now. There's that. All right. Just do the best you fucking can. Nobody's running for Jesus here, okay? Nobody's running for Jesus. Call in Guy Fieri like I do if you need help. Feel free to call in Guy Fieri. And just sit down and don't be afraid to face yourself. But yeah, if you guys get a chance this week, have a quiet, reflective moment. Chill the fuck out. Really tune in and challenge yourself around, maybe even around some long-held beliefs, maybe around yourself, around another person, a situation, life in general. It doesn't matter. But sit down and really face these philosophies and this wisdom that you have around everything that's happened so far. Challenge it. Make sure that it actually resonates for who you are, what you're about, and where you're headed now. Because I think that's the point of it all, right? All right. Cool. I hope that resonated. All right, if you guys are interested, I'm going to pull the 3 piles right now. Follow me to the next screen. Let's fucking figure it out. See you guys in a sec. Okay, so if you picked card pile number 1, here's your beautiful cards. Your very first card is the 10 of Wands. Your second card is the Page of Wands. And your third card is the Two of Swords. Okay, so not gonna lie, not an easy pull. Let's fucking talk about it. Now listen, with the Ten of Wands here, this feels maybe like hopelessness. Sometimes like if there's a feeling here that maybe somebody betrayed us. It's a burden. All right, Ten of Wands, like there's too much going on. Now coupled here with the Page of Wands, this is like ambition. This is like enthusiasm. This is our hard work. Maybe even messages that have been coming through. So a couple interpretations for this would be like a fucking shitty ass message came through. Maybe you heard that somebody betrayed you. Maybe too, you've been putting in all this hard work, but it feels like a fucking burden. This can be both around relationships or maybe the actual work that you're doing in this world in order to receive money back and fucking live. Everything just feels like a burden. Now, I want to say, coupled with the Two of Swords here, there's a feeling that, like, you're not sure which direction to go. So maybe if this was about, like, maybe we heard a message around somebody talking shit, somebody hurt us, maybe somebody betrayed us here. Maybe there's even a feeling of hopelessness around that choice that we've got to make. I just want to say here, maybe there needs to be some compromise, okay, with the Two of Swords here. Maybe we need to go and speak to that person and say, hey, I caught wind and this is no bueno. We need to sit down and have a fucking talk. Now, if this is more around the work that you're doing in this world, the hard work that you're putting out there, this really is a moment. Maybe you're not sure whether you need a break or maybe whether you just need to keep pushing harder. Can I say again, there needs to be compromise here. There needs to be some kind of diplomacy with yourself. So please take a step back, take a breather, take a break. I really feel as though this card combination is saying either way, whatever happened here for you, take a fucking break, take a deep breath, really get down and back into the heart space and really find a way to compromise with yourself around splitting up this time better around home and work, or like working hard and playtime. We got to find a middle ground, y'all, because if you run yourself into the ground, then it's going to take a multitude of time to come back from that. So don't do that. We've learned that lesson, right? We don't need to do that again. And also, if this has to do around like hearing a message, maybe something came through that you heard somebody's talking shit about you. Maybe either it's time to walk the fuck away from this person, or I want to say go in and be as diplomatic as humanly possible, even though you probably want to punch somebody. I feel that. It's okay. I get it. Let's not say we did. And really sit down and have a heart-to-heart, because this doesn't work. I heard about it, and now we need to face this together. So just know, whatever happens this week, first thing, take a deep breath, sit down, reassess the situation, and even this out better. Anytime there's twos in here, it's going to talk about balance and fairness as well. So balance it the fuck out. I know, fuck me with the balance, but still, it's important and we need it. You got this. Everything's going to be okay. And just know that you are the one in power here. Even if you feel helpless, even if you feel hopeless, even if you feel like completely overburdened and you don't know what to do, remember, be in this present moment. You are the one with the power. Make the best choice for you. Find the middle ground. All right. Okay, and if you pick card pile number 2, here's your beautiful cards. First one is the Nine of Swords. Second card is the Ace of Swords. And final card is the Knight of Swords. So I actually want to say, look, I know that looked kind of like a rough pull there, especially with the Nine of Swords. Anytime I pull that card, everybody's like, fuck and fair. But I actually want to say this is pretty positive. This feels like maybe lately we've been in a real deep depression. Things have been really difficult and it's been hard to like literally get out of bed. I just want to say with the Ace of Swords showing up here next to it, it feels like we're finally going to be coming out of this. It feels like there's a rebirth of our energy here, and especially in the mental space. Maybe some good ideas start flowing in, or maybe reinvigoration for life, or feeling like the depression starts to subside and we've got this lust for life again, this excitement for life. I'm ready to get out and go do the goddamn thing. Now with the Knight of Swords coming in, this definitely doubles down on that. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get shit done. Can I just say with this though, with the Knight of Swords coming in, there may be a feeling here that maybe you're behind a little bit, or maybe because of this depression, you don't feel like you're as far as you should have been. Please stop with that. You're going to just stick yourself right back in depression again. It's going to put you right back into a spiral. So shut that shit down. I want to remind you that taking our time, we are on nobody's clock but our own. Unless you literally have like a deadline from like somebody you work for, but I'm not feeling this for this. This feels more around like a depressed state, feeling as though we're finally fucking breaking free from that depression cycle right now. And we're getting into a much better space. And again, it just kind of feels like maybe this is right off the back of the new moon solar eclipse, or just feeling like fresh idea, fresh energies coming in. I feel like I can kind of get up and live my life again. Just with the Knight of Swords, take your time, plan things out methodically. Don't get into the mindset that somehow you're further behind than everybody. That's planet bullshit. You're on your own time and going through your own things. So cut yourself some slack, take things slow but steady. And remember, we don't want to rush ahead. Otherwise, you're going to feel completely unplanned. You're not going to have anything ready, and that's going to make you shut down again. So can we not do that either? Let's do it different this time. As we start to feel better, take things slow but steady, treat yourself with love and respect, and remember, you just came out of a depression, like, kind of feeling. Maybe you just came out of like a nightmare stage where it just felt like everything was falling the fuck apart. But finally, I see this glimmer of hope. Things are starting to get better. I can start to see positive, happy things happening for me, or at least the fruition of, or the remembering of my power, that I can really start to create the life that I want. So congrats on getting out of this funky stage and all the ugly things that were happening. I'm sorry for everything that you've been through. Please, please, please take care of yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Be kind with yourself. No rushing ahead. Take your time. I promise what's meant for you cannot miss you. You are where you are supposed to be. Trust that. You got this. And finally, if you picked card pile number 3, here's your beautiful cards. First card you got is the 8 of Swords. Second card you got is the 5 of Cups. And the final card that you picked is a major arcana card, talk about major change, major evolution, major movement forward. You picked Death. You're like, Sarah, fuck you in these card picks this week. Fair. So, look, these have not been easy card picks. I got you guys. All right, let's talk about card pile number 3. Now, I want to say with the 8 of Swords and the 5 of Cups showing up here, I normally read these cards as kind of like self-inflicted stuff. I know, here I fucking go. How dare I? So there might have been some self-inflicted stuff here that's been going on. There's 2 ways I want to interpret this card pool. So the first one is like self-inflicted stuff. Kind of like... there's some self-pity going on here. There's also been some loss. So it feels as though also, and maybe even like bondage, like holding ourselves in place. That 8 of Swords, like that is holding ourselves in place. No one's holding you there but you. So maybe mentally we've been repeating a story to ourselves, emotionally with the 5 of Cups here, around maybe that we deserve loss, maybe that we don't deserve connection with people. Whatever this philosophy has been for us mentally and emotionally, this definitely needs to be challenged, and especially with the Death card here. Something around that needs to be let go of so that we can reinvent ourselves and really fucking figure out what is the truth about this. Because I believe, and I know because I've lived it, and I think most of you guys have too, where your thoughts go, energy flows. And so if you're always thinking, I don't deserve this, I don't deserve that, and holding yourself back from beautiful, situations that could be opening you up to amazing things in your life, you're going to be like, what the fuck is the point? You're going to be missing out on opportunities because you're literally holding yourself back, because either you don't feel worthy, or maybe the previous stories have told you that you don't deserve connection. Nothing could be further from the truth. And Death is asking you to let it go so that you can reinvent yourself here, or rebirth yourself into the true story that you absolutely do deserve connection and that it is meant for you in your life. Another interpretation of this is that we've literally lost someone. And so maybe there's been a death within our family, with somebody close to us, maybe a friend. And it really has this feeling as though maybe we should have, could have, woulda done something to maybe help this person. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Maybe said something earlier or said how I felt. Whatever it is here, we're literally torturing ourselves. What have you learned from the loss of your person? May I also add to this, do not go into the next with regrets. So if you have regrets around the loss of a person here, how can we change that? We can't change it necessarily with the person that we lost, but we can change the way that we act around things, how we handle our business, and what we do with the people that are still here around us. So I want to say to you, do not lose hope. Let this death transform you and help you rebirth yourself so that we do not repeat the same mistakes, or that we feel as though maybe even somehow that we added to this, or we didn't help the person like we should have. first we need to let go of that genuinely, and we need to bring it back home, take care of ourselves, and show back up better for not only ourselves, but the other people around us. What did we learn from this loss? Guys, middle fingers for no, caw for yes. I know these card pull. This was a rough one this week, y'all. Like, all right, so I feel like I've been right. Nobody's doing great. Nobody's doing great right now. Everybody's struggling. Everybody's trying. And I think eclipses have a tendency to do that too, where it just kind of like really puts a spotlight on what we can no longer look away from. We've got to deal with this energy that's in front of us. And so how do we transform? How do we tune into that and say yes to it? Look, I just want to say, especially for those who pulled card pile number 3, everything is going to be okay. And I'm sorry around whatever loss has been here, whatever you've been telling yourself mentally and emotionally, but rebirth is coming for you. How do we do this better? And maybe that's a message everybody needs to hear this week. How do we do things better? How do we start to lean in and trust ourselves and change, or at least face some kind of philosophy we have around our life and what we're living and doing? So how do we do better? Always and forever, right? Always and fucking forever. Thank you guys for letting me pull these cards for you. Let me know if it resonated for you. Middle fingers for no, caw for yes. Let a sister know. Any and all feedback helps me to grow. Thank you guys, most importantly, for trusting me to pull these cards for you this week. And if you guys need anything, you know where to find me. Let me know if your card resonated for you in the comments below. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.